Good.
Live from the ChenngNa Bears Best, it's the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open. Mike Kim alongside with Austin now. We'd like to welcome you to the third round action of the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open. We're happy that you joined us today, and we got some great golf action in store for you. Weather has cleared up nicely. And Austin, we have a beautiful weather as well as some great action at the top of the leaderboard.
Yes, it's definitely a star-studded leaderboard that we're seeing this week. And the weather has been pretty benign for players to take advantage of the playing conditions. And the scores are pretty good. They already have reached a two-digit number on their par. But the wind is starting to pick up a little bit today compared to the first two rounds.
And with the humidity up a little bit, but the wind condition, as we had advertised, ChenngNa Bears Best is always a threat with the wind condition kicking up. And now let's take a look at some of the pairings. And Jeongeun Lee 6, defending champion of the U.S. Women's Open at 3 under par. And teed off at 10:48 this morning.
And Yering Kang and Yulin Hwang and Shinshil Bang amateur, who is only a 9th grader, is playing very nicely.
And Hejin Choi, 8 under par. And look out, Yoji Kim, also 9 under par. They all teed off at 11:10 this morning.
The leaders will be looking at their rear mirror, definitely, for those two players.
And world number 1, Jin Young Ko with 6 under par. And Seung Kim also playing alongside with Jin Young at 7 under par. And there's your final group. So-Yeon Roo with 12 under, all alone at top.
Jeongeun is also a 6-time winner on the KLPGA Tour, and she has the record score win on this championship back in 2018. So she's definitely a very strong contender.
And let's take a look at the leaderboard. And So-Yeon Roo, 12 under par, 1 under for today. And Jeongeun has had an up and down round today. And Yoji Kim, 4 under par and 9 under par, only 3 shots out of the lead.
Definitely making a move on the moving day.
And look at this, Jung, 4 under par, also in the tie for 12th place. And Jeongeun Lee 6, the defending champion of the U.S. Women's Open, showing a little bit of lackluster round, 1 over par. And let's go take a look at it. That's Chae Eun Kim at the 10th hole, par 5, with her 3rd shot.
On the left side of the fairway once again. She's been missing a lot of fairways to the left. She plays big draws, but since she's such a long hitter, I mean, she's hitting a short clubs into the green, so it doesn't seem to be an issue with her.
And not only that, she seems to be a very strong player. Has no problem coming out of that thick rough. And this is Yoji Kim, who's really making some moves, and now finds herself on the 11th hole with the 2nd shot. Good opportunity for another birdie to get this ball close.
129 meters out. Landed on a little bit of a downslope.
And that doesn't seem like really a bad opportunity for her.
No, not at all.
With her ability, and a little bit upset that that ball ran away from her. All right, Jin Young Ko was the leader after the 1st round. Oh, just sliding by that pin.
Yeah, that seems to be a popular bailout area due to the pin position and the downwind.
All right, Haejin Choi, don't count her out. She is also playing alongside with Yoji Kim, and at 8 under par. And with her 2nd shot. Oh,
that was good.
Spun that ball nicely.
Pin high.
Austin.
Good opportunity, yeah. So I mean, rough is not too high. I mean, there are some spots, patches where it's really thick, but in overall, it's not too bad where they could, where it's gonna hurt them too much, you know. But it definitely makes enough difference if you're hitting a wedge, especially not a full shot into the green.
All right, final group. And our leader, So-Yeon Ryu, has moved on to the 10th tee. Now this par 5 does play a bit of a downwind and is playing not as far as most people would like to believe. And let's see whether So-Yeon could perhaps find the green in 2.
Leaking to the right a little bit.
And the right side is a shortcut, but that's in thick rough. So let's see what kind of club selection she'll have for the 2nd shot. And this is Chae Eun Park, who has just been absolutely on fire. We eagled the 10th hole and back-to-back birdie on the 11th and 12th. 7 under par currently.
As she started the back 9 with 3 birdies in a row, having a great round.
All right, Jin Young Ko, who has been complaining a little bit of ankle injury, getting ready for a birdie, need to make this.
Speed looks good. Oh.
It's been that kind of a day today for her. Just not able to find the bottom of the cup. And it's currently 1 over par. Just not taking advantage of those par 5s that already she's let those 3 par 5s go without shaving any strokes off. Jeongeun Lee 6 also missing the birdie putt.
The speed is slightly over 10 feet right now, which is a little faster than first 2 rounds. They couldn't get the speed up due to the humidity and the weather, but you know, it's definitely a little faster than first 2 rounds.
All right, Chae Eun Kim. Love to walk away with a birdie. This is par 5. And that will get her within 4 shots of the leader, So-Yeon Ryu. Also, it just doesn't seem like it was a good stroke.
Yeah, on top of that, I don't think she read it right. There are a lot of spots out there where very subtle undulations, they'll throw them off.
All right, back to 10th tee. Jeongeun, the winner from the 2018 Korea Women's Open. And that looks like a good tee shot.
She's one of the longest hitters on the KLPGA Tour, but her swing looks very effortless and smooth.
All right, Haejin Choi also has that beautiful rhythmic swing. Looking for another birdie. And again, she's missing those birdie putts. Not by much. Just keep eluding her. And stays at 8 under par and 2 under par for the day. If you look at the way she reacts, it looks like she might be shooting 6 over par.
She just missed the similar putt on the last hole too.
All right, Chae Eun Park for a birdie. Keep rolling, rolling. And
Nice.
finds the bottom of the cup for a birdie. Let's go to the
Putting off the
11th hole to
fringe.
Yoji Kim.
Putting off the fringe with the pin out.
A little surprising that all three players known to be fairly long off the tee have decided elected to go for it in 2. Now Jin Ko on the 11th hole. And this hole, you have to guard yourself from not going too far to the left. There's a water hazard. And looks like she may have ended up in the thick stuff on the left side. You can't go too far to the right, then you got a long second shot to contend with. All right, here's a long hitter, almost the lady version of John Daly. Chae Eun Kim on the tee at 11th hole. Wow, that is a mighty cut there, Austin.
She likes to hit a big sweeping draws. But, she's been keep missing the fairway on the left side a little bit. Her tendency has been little pulls.
Chae Eun Kim really lives and dies by that aggressiveness. Now, Shin Shirvang with that extremely difficult bunker shot going away from you, and you gotta stay there. And I think that thick rough has allowed her to stay out of the hazard.
Controlling the carry distance on that hole is the big key there. It's a really shallow green.
All right, Chae Eun Park with an extremely difficult chip shot, and she's done it nicely. Well, she really was flirting with danger with that hazard on the right side, but extremely fortunate enough to have a par putt coming up. And again, Soyeon Ryu ended up in the rough. Maybe a first cut.
Once again, the carry and the spin control is the issue here. The wind is helping players downwind, but the pin's in the front. Not much room in front of the pin, so it's not an easy shot.
All right, third shot for our leader. 106 yard coming up.
She threw that way up in the air. Still not enough spin to hold the green.
That's going to be a sizable birdie putt coming up for Soyeon, but there's one thing that she's been able to do is really control that long putt distance control.
Because of the wind direction and the pin placement, it could have been a better play for Jihyun. Oh, girls like long hitters like Jihyun to actually go for the green and leave it a little short of the green on the left side opening where the rough is, and you can just chip from there.
Yeah,
Might be able to leave a shorter putt.
I tend to agree with that, Austin. I think she really could have,
Just went
particularly
for it.
the fact that she was in the fairway with her tee shot. It's a little conservative approach here.
Oh, she picked it nicely though.
Oh, and
that
nicely
checked up
done.
nicely. Yeah.
Checked up nicely. All right. Jeon started off pretty hot in the first 9 and then lost the shot on the 7th hole. And right there, it was a 2-shot swing. This is heading Kim. I think she's done a fairly good job from there. But heading Kim, who they viewed many years ago on the KLPGA Tour, did pretty well and decided to move on to JLPGA. Was able to get much success and made a comeback to the KLPGA Tour. All right, we'll go to the 11th hole, and Jeongeun Ko has found herself in the bunker, those 2 big bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
This will definitely test her skills right here.
All right. Jeongeun has about 125 yards.
Sounded clean.
Looks like she picked it cleanly.
Pretty good shot from there. Yeah.
That is a very good shot, and it's about right where Yoji Kim was.
She could putt from there.
A few minutes ago. I'm sure she's probably happy with that. All right, back to 12th hole, Bang, the 9th grader. I think she's done well and just walk away with a bogey. So the back greenside bunker is not the place to miss on this 12th hole. Yeon So, who had the best round par, hanging in there, and look at there. This could go in and just slides by, and that should be an easy tap-in birdie opportunity for Yeon So. Oh, I think that was a pretty good effort from where she was. So she'll have that for a par to remain at 12 under par for the tournament.
This par 5 hole didn't yield that many birdies today due to the wind direction and the pin position.
It's one of the easiest holes, and yet you can lose a lot of strokes here, and that would be giving away at least 2 shots to the field. All right, 12th hole, Yoji Kim. Currently all alone in 3rd place. As selected go with 7-iron. I think that's a safe place to miss.
Yep. She wasn't going to take any chance with that pin placement. Right side of the green is the shallowest part of the green, so it's really tough to control the distance with the wind blowing, helping from right.
All right, heading Kim with a birdie. If she can get a birdie here, she can also serve a notice to the top leaders.
I think she'll be happy to walk away with 2 putts.
That comes up way short. On a hole like this, you've really got to take advantage. And quite similar to position where Yoji Kim was, putting downhill. And missing it almost about the same spot where Yoji Kim was. Still trying to find that touch on the green. Now Jihyun Oh, probably the closest to the pin out of the 3 players in this final group. Got to get a birdie here to get within a shot of our leader, Soyeon-roo, to put some pressure on her. This is for birdie. Oh,
burns the edge.
Burns the edge indeed. And many people know that Jeongeun is quite long off the tee, but she's also very good with that short stick. All right, Choi from the 12th hole, playing alongside with Yoji Kim.
Oh,
and that was a very aggressive line. Not sure whether it's found the hazard or not. We'll have to see and whether that ball has stayed out of the hazard.
considering her club selection, I think she was in between club between 6 and 7, but she decided to go with 7, thinking that helping wind would give her enough yardage, but wasn't enough.
All right, hitting Kim had a good look at what Jeongeun's putt did. All right, nicely done and saved a par there almost. And today, just not able to make any moves. Still hanging in there. All right, Chae Eun, who hit that beautiful knockdown shot, and no problem with that putt. So that's only the 2nd birdie of the day, and has finally been able to shave a shot off. And now all of a sudden 8 under par. Just a little pat on the back from her caddy. And nicely done. Jeongeun leads 6.
Back to level par for the day.
She is showing a little emotion. Quite happy, and she should be happy because 12, 13, 14, these 3 holes are known as the Bears landmine of the ChenngNa Bears Best. Yeonjung-seo. Oh, look how much time she took, and that ball showed a lot of white going down.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of movement to it. Wasn't a gimme, that's for sure.
All right, back to where she started, a 6 under par. Wow, look at here.
Luckily her ball held up,
and
so
showing
she's going to be able to save
Choi.
par.
Yeah, it's showing Jeongeun Choi why she is one of the top players on the KLPGA Tour. It was not an easy chip there, Austin. All right, we haven't forgot about her. Hee Jung-lim also for birdie on the 14th.
Too much borrow there.
I never had the line there, Austin.
There are a few spots out there where it creates optical illusion because of the general slope around the greens. It's really tough to read the putt on some holes.
All right, Soyeon-roo on the 11th hole, our leader. Currently leading by 2 over Jeongeun.
Wind helping from the left. Oh, she tugged it.
And going a little left.
Not too bad.
And that is going down, and it is a long shot. I don't think she has more than 50 yards left with the second shot there. Long birdie putt opportunity for Yoji Kim.
Very good speed there.
Folks, we are seeing some great distance control with these long birdie putts. And it's one of the reasons why Yoji Kim is doing so well on the LPGA Tour. But also, Jeongeun Choi playing alongside with Hyoju showing off her short game.
For English viewers out there, you're gonna be able to see a lot of familiar names on the leaderboard who plays on the LPGA Tour, but there are plenty of world-class LPGA Tour players that does not play on the LPGA Tour.
And right here, Jeongeun is one of the players that you will definitely have to take notice.
And a lot of viewers have told me that they were surprised at the watching the depth of the field of the KLPGA Tour. And because women's golf is so popular in Korea and Japan, some players they just decide to play, only in Korea because they feel comfortable, less travel, and.
There are a lot of tournaments also that they can literally pick and choose now.
Right.
And I remember Jack Nicklaus asking about the question as to why the Korean ladies are so good. And I mentioned that there's not only a senior tour, regular tour, there's also a development tour, and then there's another layer of tour that you have to get through to get to the development tour. So this may be the only country that actually has 4 level of some form of the ladies tour, and that's the reason why that you are able to really produce some top talents. Heading Kim on the 11th hole.
And their, golfing world is also impressed with the ball striking abilities and the swings of Korean ladies golfers. And I think part of it is because when they pick up.
And a Biala's Tiger Woods shot. All right, Jeongeun. 77 yards, 70 meters.
Very good. Oh, she's been phenomenal with the spin control.
Well, she's already won here at ChenngNa Bears Best for the Korea Women's Open title a couple years ago. She absolutely knows and really thrives in this type of condition. All right, Jeongeun Ko needs to get a little bit of momentum going here. Now, backs off now. What is she talking about with her caddy now?
Probably the wind. How strong the wind is going to either help or hurt the shot. It's helping from the right, so.
All right, now she's gone with an 8-iron. Chae Eun, who's probably the longest in all the players in this field, has gone with a 7-iron. Let's see what she can do.
Yeah, it was really hard to get aggressive with that pin position because she likes to hit draws and it's helping from the right. So,
well, 2 of the top 10 players in the world have decided to go left side, where we've only seen 1 ball that's actually gone right at the pin. Now back to our leader, So-yeon. She has seen what Jeongeun has done. Oh, and it comes out quite a bit short.
I think she got a little too tentative after seeing hit him shot.
Gotta be disappointed with that result. All right, so unless So-yeon Roo is able to hold that putt and stay in step with Jeongeun, that'll be she will only be leading by a shot after the 11th hole. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. And So-yeon Roo all alone at top at 12 under par. But Jeongeun has reserved a birdie putt coming up on the 11th hole. We'll continue our action from the Bears Best for the 3rd round of the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. Stay with us.
칩니다. 밖에서 프레시. 그리고 풀로 빨려 들어갑니다. 네 홀 연속 버디. 호효를 외치면서 경기를 마친 박소현.
마지막 7인을 계기로 탑10 피니시를 했습니다.
그렇습니다. 좋아요. 들어가나요? 들어갑니다. 와.
그림같이 멋집니다.
샤딩을 성공하는 진능수.
And welcome you back to the ChenngNa Bears Best, where the third round action for the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open is taking place. It's the moving day, and the leaderboard has been moving up and down. And right now we see So-yeon Roo all alone at top at 12 under, but Jeongeun hot on the heel behind So-yeon Roo. That's currently coming up with a birdie putt on the 11th hole. Now that's where we'll be going with a heading rim coming up for a very delicate chip shot.
Oh,
And this is a shot that I'd like to see for the Chae Eun Kim. Oh, and has taken it high.
wow.
And what
Great
a
touch.
great shot. And this is the reason why Chae Eun Kim is such a top caliber player on the LPGA Tour and the ladies golf. Well, you might be able to pull it off in the practice, but on a tough condition like that, I don't know how she was able to do that. Well done, Chae Eun.
Definitely a world-class shot there.
So-yeon Roo coming up for a birdie. That ball's keep going, and thought that it was almost in, just sliding by the right edge. So So-yeon will have that to remain at 12 under par. Now the birdie putt that Jeongeun has is not a gimme. I tell you that a lot of break there. And again, don't forget about Hye-jin Choi. Currently 8 under par, and oh my lord. And
With the
only-
wind starting to pick up, players are having a little trouble controlling the distance and clubbing the right club.
Jin Young Ko has a huge mound to negotiate, and the distance as well. It was almost impossible to try to keep that ball rolling away from her.
That just shows you how great of a Chae-young shot was.
All right, back to 11th hole, head in. Now needs to save this for par to remain at 7 under. Oh. And she will drop a shot here. Head in, who has played in 2020 season has not recorded a single top 10, has been outside of top 30 in all the 4 tournaments that she has played in. Yoji Kim playing alongside with Choi.
138 meters out. Oh, once again, short.
And I think there's a lot of wind, a lot more wind than the players are seeing. Jung So, who is taking the tiger line. And now I'm seeing some of the players would like to have the pin taken out when they're putting out with that short putts, or keeping it in like Choi does. What kind of changes or differences does that make?
Well, just a visual preference, but you know, if on a windy day when pin is leaning into you, it's better to have a pin out because the capture width of the hole gets smaller.
All right, this is a crucial birdie putt coming up for Jeongeun to get within a shot of our leader, Soyeon-ru. Oh, nicely done. So Soyeon has finally gone the red number in the 3rd round, the moving day. And that leaderboard is getting packed even tighter as the hole goes by. And that never had the line. And she will drop another shot here. So after a birdie, she has dropped 3 shots and has lost 2 shots here in the 3rd round, has gone backward in the moving day. All right, the leaderboard will remain the same, but now that lead has been cut to just 1 shot over Jeongeun.
Chae Eun Kim, incredible par there. So that's what you need to do to be the top player in the world. I mean, she has 3 wins last year on the LPGA Tour, and she's currently 6th in the world. If you're playing 4 rounds of tournament, there's going to be a day where you're not going to have a great ball striking, and you need to have that short game and flat stick to get by on those rounds.
And you have to have the ability to be able to pull off those shots in a tournament condition, and she definitely has done that. And that's got to be the best shot of the day so far. All right, Jeon, after that excellent birdie on the 11th hole.
Okay, safely on.
Safely on. That is not bad at all. All right, Hee-jung Lim on the 15th par 4. Needs to get something going to stay somewhat closer to the leader. And this is quite similar to the problem that she had yesterday, just the distance control with her putt, particularly from 25 to 30 feet out. Another gorgeous look of the ChenngNa Bears Best. And the wind does kick up quite a bit in the afternoon, and we have definitely seen a lot of wind here at ChenngNa Bears Best. The wind was quite benign yesterday in the morning, but not so this afternoon.
The ChenngNa is located in the west end of the peninsula near the ocean, so you're going to get some wind in the afternoon especially.
Well, what we've seen out of Choi and Yoji Kim are some top-class short game out of that thick rough. All right, so Yeon has seen her lead dwindle down to only 1 shot.
That's a bit of a controlled swing there.
And that could also pose a little bit of trouble for her. And from there, she'll have to negotiate over the ridge and try to keep that ball from running away from you.
Safest shot would be leaving the ball short, well short of the pin on the left side, but if you push it a little bit, the water comes in play with the shorter club. So the players are having tough time, you know,
And looking at
selecting the club.
looking at the graphics, the wind is playing havoc to the players. It's going from right to left, and there's a lot of wind up in the air. So again, we've mentioned the club selection is actually at a premium. And Chae Eun, who has lost a stroke on the 11th hole, needs to stay within herself.
Obviously, the ideal ball flight would be a high fade into the wind.
And has decided to go with 7-iron. And has thrown that ball high up in the air. And she may have listened to you a little bit. And that ball will trickle down.
No harm done there.
And still a sizable putt coming up. And similar to where Jeongeun Ko had ended up on the 11th hole and the 12th hole. So the final groove has moved on to the 12th tee and has gone to the green. And let's look at all the shots so far today. Wow. And it has only yielded 12 birdies, ranked 5th hardest hole today.
Yep, averaging 3.176 strokes.
And one of the hole that came up short was Choi, who beautifully saved for par. All right, after a birdie on the 11th, incredible par on the 12th. I recall that Chae Eun had gone to left side fairway bunker, and once again she's done that. And from here, she took dead aim at the pin, and unfortunately went in the hazard, ended up with a double bogey. It'll be interesting to see what she does today.
The fairway on this hole is pretty tight with the dog leg at the starting point where their landing area is. So
A lot of players are trying to guard that right side, so tend to pull it just a little bit. Jeongeun Ko has definitely gone backward. That looks like a pretty good tee shot. It's just so visually tough from the player's standpoint when they're standing on the tee box. All right, Hyo-ju for par. Oh, ho, ho. Bears best, starting to show his teeth. And first bogey of the day for Hyo-ju, and has dropped a shot there.
she loses a stroke on one of the landmine holes.
All right, Chae Eun Park. Final hole for par, and nicely done. So that is just an excellent round for today. 6 under par.
That's the best round in the clubhouse so far.
Has to be very satisfied with that round. All right, here's our leader. Got to be careful with this shot. And that will definitely run away from the hole.
Very good there.
And this is one of the reasons why she has won so many national title tournaments.
She has won Canada, China, US, and she needs to win this one. She has her eyes on winning the Korean Open.
Yeon Jung-seo from the 13th hole. And
Oh,
this has definitely gone in the hazard and has fallen victim to the 13th hole water hazard. All right, back to the fairway bunker for Yoji Kim. Got to remember what she did yesterday. Will she take a chance?
She picked it nicely. Oh,
Oh, and that has gone way left.
that's gonna be a tough up and down.
That is going to be. That's going to require an even tougher wedge shot to save a par. Now, Hae Kim on the 12th hole, par 3. Not a bad result from there. Hae Kim, the veteran, trying to stay patient. Another player who's trying to stay patient is Jeongeun Ko, who's not had a really good day, but has done nicely there on the 13th hole.
She needs to make that putt to build her momentum.
Here's the amateur sensation who's made the cut. Only the 3 amateurs who've made the weekend play and has gone way over. But
What's
still,
impressive about her is that she's so poised and calm, you know.
and really nothing really bothering her that much. Jeongeun
Not having the galleries for the tournament could also be playing to her advantage as well.
absolutely. And we've seen some of the people that live nearby the golf course where these individual houses, they've had the bird's eye view of some of the top players. And birdie for the co-lead. I don't think that's really that of a difficult putt coming up for Jeongeun. And the players are reading much more break than really is there, Austin.
Yeah, over that mound, this actually straightens out, but because of the general slope of the green, players are thinking that it's going to leak to the right, but it's not. A lot of players getting fooled from that spot right there.
All right, Jung So, who went in the water hazard in the second shot, she is getting her ruling and now trying to get the right distance. Trying to get a feel for just how far she'll have to hit. This will be her 4th shot coming up, but before that, we got Chae Eun Kim also having all kinds of problem on the 13th. But let's come back to the 12th hole. Hae Kim trying to clean up for a par.
Oh, like I said, it doesn't have that much slope than it seems.
And it's a back-to-back bogey for Hae Kim. And that could well be taking air out of her. All right, Jeongeun will be next to come and try to save her par putt.
This is a pretty straight putt. If anything, inside right would do it.
Jeongeun, who's won 6 times on the KLPGA Tour. Won in 2018. Right here, ChenngNa Bears Best going away. Shot 17 under par for the tournament. She needs to make this par putt, and no problem with that. So remains at 1 shot out of the lead.
So for a lot of the weekend golfers out there, what you need to do on a long putt is that even if you hit it by a lot, you have to pay close attention to what the ball is doing past the hole, because that's ultimately going to be the line that you're going to have to putt on the next putt.
Exactly, and that's a very good point there. All right, play tends to slow down just a bit now. It's for bogey for Hae Kim.
Disappointing
after that-
bogey there.
After the birdie on the 2nd hole par 5, it has been all downhill for Chae Eun Kim, who has been trying to find her game after making that transition back to KLPGA Tour from a few years on the JLPGA Tour. Didn't have a whole lot of success. Now here's our leader for par. No problem there. So continues to lead by shot as she moves on to the 13th hole, second of the 3 Bears landmine holes, and now back to the 13th hole where Jung So is coming off a 4 shot after taking a penalty stroke.
It's not over yet.
And it is so difficult to try to keep that ball run away from you.
The Bears landmine starts from the 12th hole that we're looking at, par 3. It's a downhill hole and very shallow green on the right part of the green.
Well, it has everything you can possibly imagine. Wind, rough, water hazard, and some bunkers to throw in.
And as I mentioned before, the 13th hole, the fairway narrows up. The bottlenecks in their, near their landing area, so it's a really tight hole.
And if you go long, you can go also find yourself in the water hazard. The green will run away from you from the backside, and look at that. Par 5, 14th hole, water hazard all along on the right side, so it does tend to promote players to hit to the left side.
And once again, this is another tight hole, and depending on where the wind is blowing, this could play like a par 5.5 if the wind is blowing from the left side to the right.
Well, it's really scary just looking at those drone shots there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm anxious to see how Chae Eun Kim did on this shot. Oh, look at this, going down. Oh,
She played a bump and run from the left foot lower downhill lie. It was pretty good shot considering the situation she was in.
exactly, and you can't take too much chance with that. And let's go take a look at the leaderboard again. So Yeon-Roo now all of a sudden dealing only by a shot over Jeongeun, and Chae Eun Kim and Hyoju and Haejin Choi all at 8 under par. Let's continue to bring you live action from the Bears Best, but let's take a quick break. We'll come back to you after these messages. Stay with us.
좋은데요. 네, 들어갑니다. 네, 좋았습니다. 주명이 약간만 왼쪽으로 불렀습니다. 가드를 뻔했던. 오, 좋은데요. 네, 완 들어가나요? 들어갈 뻔했네요. 정말 기가 막힌 샷을 보여줍니다. 세 번째 샷. 오, 기대를 맞습니다. 이수영. 아, 들어갈 뻔했어요. 지금 왼쪽 가장자리가 파여 있죠.
네, 그냥 쏙 들어갈 뻔했는데 펴 먹고 이글샷이었는데 되게 가까웠습니다.
Third round action continuing at the ChenngNa Bears Best for the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open. And we're happy that you join us today as we continue to bring the third round, the moving day of the Korea Women's Open. And currently, So Yeon-roo leading at 12 under par over a shot over Jeon-oh, who's playing alongside with her. Now Se-young Kim trying to save a par. And knew that she had missed the moment she hit that putt.
I thought she was going to walk it in.
I think I know somebody who also walks in that putt there, Austin.
My brother,
What's his name?
Kevin Na.
All right, Jeon-oh.
Yeah, all right.
Beautiful tee shot.
Seems to be on a decent line.
Shouldn't be an
Okay,
issue.
first cut, not bad. No harm done there.
Jeon very competently hitting that tee shot, and So Yeon, just a veteran who has really won all over the place. There's won in Japan, also in Canada, in China, as well as in the United States. She has collected the national title tournament in 4 different places. But this is one title that she would love to add to her trophy collection. And she has gone into the bunker, and that's been the very favorite spot for a lot of the players. And this is Jung trying to save a bogey here now. Oh, and it goes right over the hole, and very unfortunate. Walk away with a double bogey, and another Bears landmine has claimed yet another victim. Very similar to what Se-young Kim had yesterday. And let's quickly check the leaderboard. There's been no moves between the top 2 players, but Haejin Choi, Yoji Kim, and Haejin Choi all at 8 under par. So the leaderboard is still packed. Let's go back to the 13th hole. Haejin Kim, who's lost 2 shots, back-to-back bogey, needs to get some momentum back. She is not happy with that second shot.
No.
And the ball has definitely disappeared into that thick rough.
And that rough in front of the 13th green is the thickest rough out of the whole all golf course.
As we mentioned, that Jeon-ho is sneaky long off the tee, and I tell you, she has taken full advantage of her length.
She definitely has the length to carry this onto the green in 2. Oh, I'm sorry, we're on the 13th hole. 138 meters to the pin.
Greens and regulation is 75%. That is really good under a very difficult condition.
A lot of players are leaving it short.
And we've seen a lot of shots coming up short.
There's
into
got to
that
be more
thick
wind
rough.
than wind up there than what the flag stick is doing.
Players are just not taking into consideration enough the distance that they need to carry onto the green. With that pin position, very difficult. All right, our leader, So Yeon-roo, out of the fairway bunker in the 13th. Austin, she is a really smart player.
Oh, very nice
and
shot
a
there.
Beautiful shot. You could not have asked for a better shot than that, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why she is currently leading the field. What a great shot that was. Let's take a look at the par 5, the last hole of the Bears landmine. And we find Yoji Kim and Choi almost about side by side. And it's the first cut at Choi. Slightly behind Yoji Kim.
She should have a pitching wedge in her hand right now. Oh, missed club there.
And the
You know, you
pin
could have
is
been
only-
the flyer off to that first cut.
the
Yeah, I don't
pin
think
is
she
only
could have
about 12
misclubbed
space.
that much, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be a flyer.
All right, Hyoju should take a note of what happened to Choi. That looks like a little lower ball flight than Choi did. Might be the safest route. It's just really hard to tell whether Hyoju is having a good day or bad day, just the way her demeanor is. Heading Kim in a danger of losing yet another stroke unless she can get that ball closer to the hole, and has done that nicely. In a situation like that, Hedium, what does she have to do to really get that ball closer to the hole, especially the green running away from you?
Well, you just gotta make sure that you carry it short and land it short of the pin and let it run out. And instead of trying to just get the right speed to get it close to the hole, you have to keep in mind that you have to position the ball where you want to putt your par putt from. So having said that, I mean, you have to leave it well short of the pin to leave yourself an uphill putt.
And I think the experience definitely came into play for her and has done that nicely. Chae Eun Kim, not sure what that was about. Looks like she was trying to keep that ball low with a 3-wood. All right. Jeongeun, who's in second place at 11 under par, only a shot out of the lead. So it'll be a third shot out of that thick rough.
Nicely done.
There's one thing we have seen out of the last two groups is that they definitely know how to manage that thick rough, and that's one of the reasons why they're in that top first page leaderboard. And once again, Bears Best is really testing these top players' ability to get this out of the rough.
And if you see all the players on the first page of the leaderboard, there are the players with a lot of experience and overseas experience who plays on the LPGA Tour, because a lot of the players that only play in Korea, they don't get to experience this type of golf course or the grass. You know, most of the golf courses in Korea are filled with Korean long grass. That's actually the academic name for the type of grass.
The
that
Zoysia
grows
grass
there.
is
Yeah.
something that really doesn't allow the players to practice those kind of shots.
Right.
So this type of condition is quite unfamiliar for many of the players that are playing here locally, unless you play down at Jeju Island, where most of the grass is the bent or fescue green. Oh, So-Yeon Roo runs away. And depending on how Jeongeun does with her putt, she is leading at least by 2, potentially 3.
That extra shot of cushion would play a very important role in the final round.
All right, Yoji Kim. That's a very good touch. And Jeongeun is having a little bit of conversation with Choi. Say, and that putt may have hit the Choi's ball mark as it went down. Both of these players sponsored by the same company, good friends one to one another. All right, Jeongeun got to make this par putt to remain a 2 behind So-Yeon Roo, and has
Solid.
done that. Solid. All right, Sung Yeon. This is a birdie opportunity, birdie attempt, but a lot of break. Oh,
Nice.
and it's done that. Well, that scorecard is filled with bogeys, some double bogey, and a few birdies.
That was a very nice bounce back there.
All right. Yoji Kim getting ready to clean up this for a par. Gotta stop the bleeding there, and has done that nicely.
Yeah, because she missed a couple of those short putts in the previous holes, that putt is going to. It's gonna be somewhat nervous.
All right, Jeongeun's got a long par putt. Just remained at 8 under par. Oh boy, did you expect anything different out of Jeongeun? That's a clean scorecard, but the players are running. I'm not sure why they're running, but I think they may be a little bit slow in their pace because the course conditions getting just tougher and tougher as the day goes by. So Soyeon Roo with that birdie on the 13th hole. Just a really precious birdie to take 2 shots back over Jeon Oh. And leading by 2 over Jeon Oh, and Yoji Kim remaining along with Hyejin Choi at 8 under par behind the leaders. We'll come back to the ChenngNa Bears Best as we continue to bring you the third round action of the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. Stay with us. And welcome you back to the ChenngNa Bears Best, where the 34th Kia Motors Korea Women's Open is taking place. moving day here at the ChenngNa Bears Best, and So Yeon-roo has moved up all the way up in the top of the leaderboard, has maintained her lead over the rest of the field, and is leading by 2 over Jeon-oh in the second place. Now we see Haejin Choi has moved on to the 15th hole. And look at that driving accuracy, 82%. And has done so well with her tee shot.
Another fairway hit there.
And that number will definitely go up just slightly.
As the greens are drying out and getting firmer, fairway, keeping the fairway becomes a bigger premium now.
And 15th hole is not a really long par 4. The players will try to take advantage by trying to hit it as hard as they can and get close to the green as close as possible. An interesting club selection by Yoji Kim has decided to go with a fairway wood here. And has done it nicely. And this is a hole where you really have to leave yourself a very comfortable second shot, Austin.
Mm-hmm. But before that, you must keep the fairway in order to hold a green now. The greens are actually getting really firmer, and a lot of players are having trouble controlling the spin and holding the green.
And So Yeon-roo with that beautiful birdie on the 13th hole, and has widened that margin just slightly to 2 shots. And back to Jin Ko, who has really been struggling all day. And that's been the story of Jin Ko all day. When she has a reasonable birdie opportunity, just not able to convert those opportunities at all. And as you can see, that she is currently 2 over par for the day, and has stopped where she was yesterday. Was not able to shave any strokes off. Now Jin Ko is currently at 5 under par, and that's Jeon-oh. Finds the middle of fairway. All right, Yoji Kim has not disappointed us with some exciting golf action. Has been birdies and bogeys in between. That's quite similar to what Hee Jung-lim did.
Too much borrow.
And had a lot more break than she needed. Song Hee-an. Wow. That ball was definitely sitting down in the rough and really grabbed that club, it sounded like.
There are definitely thick patches out there.
All right, Yoji Kim checking our distance. Just a beautiful rhythmic swing that Yoji Kim has. Just aesthetically is so pleasing to eyes seeing Hyo-ju and Haejin Choi swing along with Hee Jung-lim. There's a huge bunker on the left side of the green, and gotten over that, and the distance control is rather difficult in this hole.
Yeah, that was a really great shot there.
All right, Jeongeun Lee 6.
Yeah, you gotta play like a bunker shot there. Her swing was too short and she got a little too tentative. You need to just open up that club face wide and dump the club as if you're going to hit a bunker shot.
All right, Haejin Choi, confident swing, and this could. Oh, and I really thought that this ball will be a little closer than where it ended up. So she'll have that for a birdie. So both of these players, Hyo-ju and Hae-jin, at 8 under par. And Jeongeun Lee 6 knew that was going to be a difficult par-saving putt. And have decided to wait it until the other players. Now back to 14th hole. So Yeon-ru, our leader. That's a good second shot there. Especially coming out of the rough. So-yeon, who won the Japan Open back in 2018. Also won the U.S. Open. It's hard to believe that it's been 9 years since she's won the U.S. Open in 2011. Jeon has also laid up. And all three players have kept the fairway with their second shot. The final group coming up on the 14th hole. The final hole of the Bears landmine on the ChenngNa Bears Best. And Song-yeon, this is a rather lengthy bunker shot. One of the hardest bunker shots in golf is 30 or more yards for the bunker shot for Song-yeon.
Oh, very nicely done.
These are one of the shots that you really can't practice too much.
Right. Bunker shots ranging from like 40 to 70 yard. Those are the shots that even the tour pros have a hard time with.
All right, Jin Young-ko has moved on to the 15th hole. Need to get something going here. And also have elected to go not with the driver, but a fairway metal. All right, Jeon-oh.
Just birdied this hole yesterday.
Oh! That is absolutely an unforced error.
Seems like it went in the bunker, not the penalty area, fortunately.
Well, that's exactly what she'll be hoping for. Se-young has elected to go with the driver. Wow. And let's see where she ends up. I'm anxious to find out.
Oh, she kept the fairway this time.
And that is going and going.
She got aggressive with this one.
Wow, that is a long drive. Folks, that is about as long as you'll see on this hole,
That's
in the
right.
15th hole. All right, here's our leader. She has seen her pursuer, Jeon-oh, go in the greenside bunker at least, hopefully. My goodness.
Good chance for 2 birdies in a row.
And if she can break away from the rest of the pack with another birdie on this par 5, that could potentially be a crucial blow to Jeon-oh and the rest of the field. And Hyo-ju coming up short with that birdie putt. Looking around to see where Hae-jin Choi's line is going to be, and try to be careful not to step on her line. And has elected to go just putt it out. Austin, when you have a situation like that, what are some of the things that you have to really consider to make sure that you don't step on the competitor's line?
Well, you have to check whether you're stepping on their competitors through line or not. So that's what you're seeing is players asking, oh, very nice shot there.
Yeah, that was Jeongeun Lee 6 on the 17th hole.
So when you see players pointing out a certain spot on the green near the hole with their club, asking other players, what they're doing is they're asking whether their through line is in that area or not, so they don't step on it.
There's a lot of discussion and courtesy being offered by the competitors. And Hyejin Choi, again, just having a little difficulty hitting hard enough to get that ball to the hole. So both Hyejin Choi and Yoji Kim have stopped at 8 under par and has not been able to make any moves since then. Oh, and as you were right, Austin, that ball ended up in the greenside bunker. That's got to be an extremely fortunate shot. And let's see if that ball will roll back a little bit. No. So
Not too happy with the result.
That'll be a sizable par putt for Jeongeun. And Song Hee-an, after rather lengthy bunker shot, almost 30 yards, should be happy with that distance for par. Song Hee, who was winless on the KLPGA Tour for so many years and finally won last year. Rather emotional win for her. Oh,
Great save there.
Great save.
Yeah, that'll put a smile on your face.
Absolutely. Now Hyejin Kim. And I think that is about as good as effort as you can do in that type of putt. Hyejin has really seen her game go backward, as it has been the case with Jeongeun, who was leading and had set to tie the course record at 7 under after the first round at 7 under. All right, here's Jeongeun. You cannot allow Soyeon-roo to run away too much. Got to make this par putt. Austin, what do you see here?
Could well potentially be a 2-shot swing here, but it's a downhill slider to the right. You got to keep the pace in control.
This is Jeongeun. Let's take you to the 15th hole. About 134 yards, slightly downwind. Like a consummate professional, she has really approached this shot very deliberately. And also has come up a bit short. Ball sitting up. Never had the line. And we'll lose another shot, and that she will go 1 over par for the day after cleaning that up for a bogey. And depending on what Soyeon-roo does in this hole, could potentially go as many as 4 shots. All right, Yeon Jung-seo. And that might be the first person we have seen on this hole have actually gone past the hole, but now it might be the reason why the players have tried to keep that ball below the hole. And that's going to be a very treacherous downhill putt coming up.
It's steeper than it looks on TV because the camera tower is high above the green, so it doesn't really show the slope, how severe the slope is, but from back there, yeah, it's a very severe slope downhill.
Now, what's your thought on the Chae Eun Kim taking out a driver and getting as close as possible to this green?
Well, first of all, I think her aggressiveness is what makes her popular as well. As we saw through her stats, her fairway accuracy was only 45%, yet she still took out a driver and ripped at it. You know.
Only 60 yards. And nicely done. And ball did pass the hole a little bit, but I think this is probably one of the better birdie opportunities that we've seen so far in this hole.
She has taken a different approach because a lot of players actually left the second shot longer to hit a full shot into the green, but
All right, Yoji Kim.
But at the end of the day, it's all about how the player is feeling that day, and their strategy might change from round to round.
Now you see those individual houses there, and that's where you're hearing the
Claps from.
claps and cheering. The residents on the ChenngNa Bears best. Oh, Choi Eun so close to making that birdie putt to take almost a 4-shot lead over Jeongeun.
YouTube live, broadcast is happening for only last 3 hours of the broadcast, but so the viewers who are watching this through the YouTube, they did not get the chance to see it. But because there were no galleries when they're teeing off on the first hole, when the announcers announcing the player's name, the players and caddies themselves were clapping for each other.
That's a solid shot by Hejin Choi. All right, once again, you're hearing some of these residents from those individual houses cheering on the players. Well, you can't keep those people away from the tournament. They're in their houses, so they're in their own rights to be able to cheer on. And what a view that they're getting. And again, what a shame it is that we are playing with such an incredible playing field, yet with no gallery. All right, Song Yeon. Never known to really hit a long drive, but boy, that was a good drive out of her too.
All three balls right next to each other.
All
Perfect
three.
drives.
It almost sounds like there's about 2,000 people out there. All right, back to 15th green for the #1 player in the world, Jeongeun Ko. Austin, what do you see here?
It's up the mound and downhill towards the hole. Swinging to the right.
It just doesn't seem like if she has much confidence with her putting stroke. Just so tentative and afraid to putt that ball through and pass the hole too much. Now Jeongeun leads 6 on the 17th hole. After that excellent tee shot on the par 3. Oh, just kisses the right edge. And with the wind-swept greens starting to get a little faster, players are getting very, very careful. All right, Chae Eun Kim after only 60-yard second shot. That's a big swing there.
Yeah. She was probably playing at least 2 cups out.
All right, Chae Eun knows she needs to make a little move here in the 3rd round. She still has 3 holes left, but has fallen behind quite a few shots from our leader, Choi Eun, who is currently at the 15th hole, leading by 3 right now.
That 3-shot lead ought to feel very comfortable right now. But she has to keep her foot on the gas pedal. 'Cause there's still a lot of golf left.
Well, when you have a momentum going, I think that's when you really need to take advantage and take a little bit of chances to make sure that you keep the competitors, pursuers away from you. Oh, and look at here. Jeon Choi showing her strength with her iron game. Jeon needs to stay close to Soyeon-ru. Wow, took that mighty cut there.
She went after it.
And she did. And that ended up almost about the same place where Yoji Kim was.
Yeah.
That's one of the few times I've seen Jeon come out of her swing like that.
Well, she's been striking the ball beautifully all week, and that shows how confident she is right now.
Oh, Yoji Kim. You have downwind like that, it's always difficult to try to gauge the distance. Oh, Jeongeun for a lengthy par putt on the final hole at the 18th. This hole rated the hardest hole yesterday. Let's see if Jung can save a par to remain at 5 under par. And that was left all the way.
What a disappointing bogey to finish the round. 2 bogeys.
So she had fought back hard and got herself back to 6 under and lost 2 strokes back to back on the 17th and 18th hole. All right, the leaderboard again. Soyeon-ru at 13 under par, 2 under par for the day. And Jeon is trying to stay with her at 10 under par, 3 shots out of the lead. Welcome back to Bears Best ChenngNa Golf Club, where the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open action is taking place. Stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.
파스리 두 번째 샷입니다. 오른쪽으로 처리하죠. 오, 지금 버디.
And welcome you back to the ChenngNa Bears Best, where the third round of the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open is taking place. Mike Kim alongside with Austin now. We're happy that you joined us today, and we're heading into the back stretch as the final group has now gone on to the 15th hole. And Yoji Kim on the 16th hole, currently a 7 under par. I'd be anxious to find out exactly where her tee shot ends up. And look at that ball rolling. Wow.
I think that's the farthest drive we saw on this hole today.
A little bit of that anger there. All right, back to the 15th hole, our final group, where our leader, Soyeon Ryu, and Jeongeun, who's also in second place, 3 shots out of the lead. But let's not forget about Yoji Kim, who's also playing alongside with Ryu and Oh. And she's been having a long day, long and tough day. 2 over par for the day. It looks like a pretty good shot there.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the better shots that we've seen on this hole. All right, Yoji Kim might be able to chip it in. And I think she'll be satisfied with the par to remain at 8 under par and still 5 shots out of the lead. Don't count this lady out, as well as her playing partner, Choi. And this is the moving day, and one of the few players that have definitely moved up is Soyeon Ryu and also Choi. That seemed like a little trouble there, Austin.
No, it shouldn't be a problem. The line looked pretty clean.
And I think Soyeon Ryu taking no chances, taking the fat part of the green. Did go in the rough, but shouldn't be too much of a difficulty for her caliber of play. A birdie opportunity coming up after that beautiful second shot.
And she
and
converts it.
nicely done. So now 3 birdies with no bogey, and with 2 more holes left for Jeongeun.
They're still running, so their group must be behind pace.
Beautiful shot. So now this is getting a little interesting. With that birdie and Soyeon Ryu in the thick rough with a lot of green to work with, we may see another little move up in that top of the leaderboard. Jeongeun.
Very nice.
Exactly where she needs to be.
You know, she needed that. Her only birdie came on the 3rd hole today.
All right. Long birdie opportunity for Jeongeun Lee 6. The winner of the LPGA Rookie of the Year award in 2019 went right over the ball mark. That may have helped her.
Yeah, it did, but that means she didn't hit her line. Otherwise, she would have asked the other player to move the ball mark.
That's one of the few times where she's been helped by hitting the competitor's ball mark. Rather disappointing round. Only a 1 over par. 90 yards left for a second shot. Not sure exactly what happened there.
It's a downwind. It's tough to hold the greens. Greens aren't firming up.
Well, going back to Jeongeun's shot, that just really shows the incredible talent that Jeongeun has. Stymied by that thick grass behind her club.
Stub and run.
Oh, got a clean hit out of that. needs to go. Well, this could get very interesting. So Yeon-roo missing that par putt and Jeongeun making that birdie putt. That would be a 2-shot swing. And the lead will once again change quite a bit up there. So let's see what happens on that 15th green. All right, Hyejin Choi after driving that beautiful birdie putt on the 16th hole. Wow, the ladies are going with a 4-iron.
Too far out to the right. Push fade. I think she tried to get ahead of it a little bit.
Well, yesterday we saw some of the pin club selections were 5 or 6 iron. And she has gone with a 4-iron. And Yoji Kim, after that, a really good second shot for a birdie. Needs to get this birdie to get some momentum going, and has done that nicely. Boy, she had to wait a long time to find the bottom of the cup after a birdie on the second hole, and that's got to be at least 3 hours before, possibly longer. She had to wait a long time to get that birdie. Now this is Song Hee-an.
You gotta draw it in from the right side opening.
A pin position cannot be that difficult. I know that there's a lot of wind up there.
Yeah, and wind is blowing from the left side, so players are having a hard time.
All right, crucial birdie putt coming up for Jeongeun, who's currently trailing by 3 shots. And our leader, So Yeon-roo, patiently waiting to get ready for her par putt. All right, Jeongeun for birdie. To get within 2 of our leader. Oh,
Nicely
it has
done.
done that.
Oh, it could potentially be a 2-shot swing here.
And where she putted might be the only place where you could reasonably have a chance for a birdie on the 15th hole. Now, Yoji Kim on the 16th hole. And she is running out of holes and has really not been able to get anything going since she had that birdie on the 11th hole. Back to 17th hole, Yoji Kim.
Going with the hybrid. A high draw into the wind will give you a softer landing. Very nicely done. Oh,
watch
is that
this
going
ball. Watch this ball.
in? Wow.
Whoa. So
That's got to
Hyoju,
be a shot of the day.
that has definitely got to be shot of the day. But I have to say that Hyoju has definitely shown why she is such a great player. Now, Hyoju won against Yoji Kim in the playoff down at Jeju Island a couple weeks ago. And this golf course playing so tough with the ladies. These top caliber players have no problem.
Oh,
Gotta
she
be watched
pushed
for
it.
that. Oh, that putter face looked like it was open all the way.
Yeah, had no chance.
Boy, walking away empty-handed. In fact, she's been penalized with the shot now. So Yeon-roo needs to keep pace with Jeongeun. And we mentioned about how So Yeon-roo, when she had the momentum, she really needs to step on and really be able to take charge of her game. Oh. And as we had said,
The lead has dwindled down to 1.
And the lead part, the 3-shot lead has been all of a sudden cut down to only 1 shot as we go toward the 16th hole. And it is getting rather interesting here at ChenngNa Bears Best. Jeongeun Ko. Nice birdie. Again, that's only the 2nd birdie of the day since the 3rd hole, the par 3. And she had to wait a long time, just like Chae Eun Kim did. So final group on the 16th hole with Jeongeun. Wow, that was a great tee shot. And again,
The
those
homeowners
residents-
of the next to the golf course, they're watching from their balcony.
I'm sure the players probably are pleasantly surprised and happy to have some gallery out there. But again, we'd like to remind all the viewers that this tournament is playing without any gallery. But those cheers are coming from the residents living next to the golf course. All right, our leader, So-Yeon Ryu, lost a shot on the 15th hole. Oh, and she has
she
lost
got
it
ahead of it
completely
again.
to the right. Watch out, watch out. And that may have gone into the hazard. We'll have to see.
At the top of the backswing and going into the transition, she drops her hands behind, but at the same time, her upper body lunges forward. That's what makes it her arms get stuck behind and come down into out with the open club face, hitting a push cut or push slice. She has done that a couple times in the front 9 as well.
All right, checking the leaderboard again. So-Yeon Ryu holding on to that 1-shot lead over Jeongeun. Welcome back to the ChenngNa Bears Best. Stay with us. And the leaderboard is heating up here at the moving day and the ChenngNa Bears Best for the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. Mike Kim alongside with Austin Dunn. We're happy that you have joined us today. Stay with us as we continue to bring you the third round action of the 34 Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. And So-Yeon Roo, and now all of a sudden is leading by a shot over Jeon-Oh, as we've had a two-shot swing on the 15th hole as they continue to make their move to 16th. And Haejin Choi, after a nice birdie putt on the 16th hole, is now faced with a long par putt.
Like I had mentioned earlier, during transition, her arm starts to drop to shallow out the shaft plane, but her upper body lunges a little bit too far towards the target, and her arms get stuck behind. And gets to the ball with a slightly open club face.
And as a result, the ball may have found the water hazard on the right side, and this 16th hole. Oh, and she's been very fortunate to find the fairway bunker. And this could potentially be a shot, maybe two-shot swing, thanks to that fairway bunker, which caught her shot. And again, greenside bunker, water hazard on the right side, so you got to be careful with that. And I don't think she was taking much chance with that shot out of the bunker, Austin. And this is Haejin Choi for a long par putt. Oh, just a couple more roll and she would have saved that par putt.
She's gonna drop a shot.
And she will fall back. And Haejin was tied to Yoji Kim for the third place, but is now moved back to sole possession of the fourth place. Jeon-Oh all of a sudden seeing a little bit of room there.
Left of the pin, not too bad there. She could putt from there.
All right, the final groove, moving on to on the 16th hole, and Austin, that had to be an incredible scare for So-Yeon Roo with that tee shot on the 16th hole. And Shin Shil-bang, the ninth grader, and no doubt she will probably put that in her database, knowing how difficult that rough was out of the green side. All right, back to the 17th hole, and Jin Young-ko, after finding the bottom of the cup for the first time since a birdie on the third hole.
Leaking to the right.
Now she hit par both times in the first and second round on this hole.
Even if she putts from there, she's gonna have to go through at least like 5-6 feet of fringe or the rough area. So it's going to be interesting.
Let's see what happens with So-Yeon Roo here. Popped it up there and has done that nicely.
Oh,
wow.
She's gonna walk away with the par, and that should feel like a birdie.
So when
What a
she
save.
let her club go from the tee shot, we had for a moment that could almost be a guaranteed double bogey. I was so fortunate to find that fairway bunker on the right side, and now walks away with the par. That's got to feel almost like a birdie.
Yes. She certainly dodged the bullet on this hole.
That's got to be a huge bullet. All right, Chae Kim has to be mummering her to herself after getting a bogey on the 16th hole. hitting just a booming drive. Oh, and
That
that
one's
is a
that
very
soft.
good
Yeah.
shot.
With her draw, it should be in a perfect wind for her.
And a bit of a downhill putt, but still should be a good opportunity for Chae Eun. And Jeongeun Ko ended up on that on top green side.
That just shows you how strong the wind is. All three players on that group hits a draw.
All right, heading Kim. Could she hold it out? Oh, just inches away from holding that out for chip in birdie.
After a couple of miscues with the short putts, I think she seems to find her groove again, getting the things dialed in.
Well, she's not been playing that well all year, so anything that she could walk away with a maybe inside top 20 will be a real positive result for her, and that will definitely give her some momentum as she continues to play in the latter part of the season. Giano has elected to take the pin out and putt it from the fringe. And I think she would be quite content to walk away with a par. Austin, when you're hitting out of that fringe, how much a break or what are some of the things you have to really think about when you're hitting through a situation where
Make sure that you
was?
stroke through it without trying to hit on it too hard. You just have to think about the speed of the ball rolling through. You have to kind of imagine how fast the ball's going to roll through the fringe.
Well, this is an interesting way of putting. Wow, completely had Jeongeun Ko had her back against the hole. And I would say that from where she was, that might not be a bad result, but still have a sizable par putt coming up.
It was tough to judge the distance because she had to putt through at least 5 feet of rough, the fringe.
All right, bogey for her, but still, what a great experience for a ninth grader. She's two under par and 2 under par in the first and second round. 3 over par for the day, but she will continue to play with the top professionals on the KLPGA Tour, and that will be great opportunity for her to gain some invaluable experience. Chae Eun Kim. All right, she'll move on to the 18th hole. Another disappointing result. All right, we'll go to the 18th hole, and Yoji Kim all alone at third place.
She tried to hit a little cut there.
And comes up quite a bit short, almost 25, 30 yards short. And like I said, don't count this lady out. She has been playing very well all year since she has come back to Korea. Oh, and Jeongeun Ko, confident par putt.
You could hear her frustration, how her round has gone.
She's looking
today.
back and saying, boy, this golf course is just looking so much different than it was in the first round where she tied for the course record at 7 under par. All right, Song Yeon. Her second shot. And also comes up similar to where Yoji Kim is. This hole was rated the most difficult hole yesterday on ChenngNa Bears Best, and is playing just as tough. All right, one shot out of the lead. Jeon Ho getting ready to hit her second tee shot on the 17th hole. Now, if you notice that there's a car at all the par threes, rather unique to Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. He's offering hole-in-one prize at all 4 of the par 3s.
And the winner also gets the minivan too.
Oh,
Oh,
that
she
is a
tugged it
pull
left.
way left.
Okay.
Alright. So both of the leaders,
Just a
So-Yeon
bit
Ryu and
fortunate.
Jeongeun, both of them are being quite fortunate in the 16th and 17th hole. Have another look. Knew the moment she hit that shot. All right, heading Kim. That looks pretty confident shot.
That's going to be a fast putt coming downhill. But it seemed like she didn't have much choice because of the she was in between clubs.
All right, Hye-jin Choi finds herself in the rough. I think the best she could do is to get that ball as close as hole to the possible. And lets that club go. Oh, and it goes into the greenside bunker. All right, that'll test her bunker ability. And So-Yeon Ryu, despite hitting a way worse shot on the 16th, still managed to save a par, and that's just an incredible ability and how calm she was. And this is the hole where she had the lone bogey yesterday. She's asking for it to stay. Not sure exactly where it ended up, but doesn't appear to be too unhappy. Let's go to the 18th hole, Jin-Young Ko.
She likes it.
Down
the middle.
Ball is going down the middle, and should have a fairly good chance. Needs to get down on the bottom fairway to give herself a chance for a rather. And we'll have another look at So-Yeon Ryu's tee shot on the 17th hole.
That was a good shot.
That is actually a pretty good shot. The ball was rolling down. And the leaderboard check. So-Yeon Ryu all alone at top, but Jeongeun and Yoji Kim only 2 shots out of the lead. Once again, we'll continue to bring you live action from the ChenngNa Bears Best for the 3rd round. Stay with us. All right, back to ChenngNa Bears Best, where the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open is continuing. And we're coming down to the final stretch as we have now moved on to the 17th hole, the final group. And this is Yoji Kim with a rather delicate birdie putt coming up, downhill, side hill.
Too low.
And still rolling down and may have given a little too much respect for that putt. So she has a sizable downhill putt to remain a 6 under par. Has already given a shot back to the field. And this is Yoji Kim on the 18th hole. And it's almost kind of automatic for Yoji Kim.
The kick in par.
So she'll have that to remain at 9 under par to stay in sole possession of the 3rd place. And only 3 shots out of the lead. And she has elected to just go ahead and putt it out.
And it's really important to get into the final group for the last round.
And she
In
has continued to
contention.
get better as the tournament moves on. First day 70, 69. Today 68, 4 under par. So look out, Yoji Kim has definitely served notice to the rest of the players. But Soyeon-Roo is not done yet. And this is for birdie.
Oh, she had the line.
She had the line. So after dodging a bullet, a huge bullet on the 16th hole with the tee shot, she has gone back to back with a par. Now Choi, this is to remain at 8 under par, and I don't think she's hit it hard enough. Jin along with Yoji Kim. Also Jin a little bit dejected with the bogey on the 18th hole.
The last hole played is the toughest hole on the golf course yesterday, and it seems to be the case for today as well.
All right, heading Kim needs a par at 6, remain a 6 under. She has started at 7 under par. And I think she's done it.
Oh, great putt.
Oh, and I
great
think
putt.
that is a great putt. And that has to come from all the experience that she has played this course, as well as knowing how to control the speed. All right, Song-yeon. And that's another good shot out of the greenside rough. Even though she shot 3 over. And we didn't get to see Jeongeun hitting the second shot onto the green after almost going into the greenside bunker. Now this is a crucial par putt to remain only a shot out of the lead of Soyeon-Roo.
Uphill left to right putt. You shouldn't move that much. Left the inside edge would be good. Very nice.
Well done. Well done, Jihan. So still remains only a shot out of the lead as she moves on to the 18th hole. And Jin Young-ko got a sizable second shot and ends up almost the same position where Song-yeon was. I think since we've been coming on the air, we have not seen almost anyone coming on in regulation on this 18th hole.
Right.
Austin?
Right. It's 389 meters, really long for the ladies, and on top of that, there's slight hurt with the wind.
This ball is going way right. Not bad. I don't
Yeah,
think
not
that
too
should be
bad.
a too difficult of a shot coming
Right.
up for Jung.
If anything, you want to miss right side of the green.
And I think Chae Eun Kim might be the only person we have seen with an iron in their hand for the second shot in the 18th hole.
Oh, line looks good.
And line does look good. Wouldn't you love to walk away with a birdie on this hole? And boy, I think she might be happy with just getting that ball on the green.
I think the word little giant would really well describe Seyoung. She's a long hitter for a girl who's not that tall.
Well, you know, she's known to be a Taekwondo girl.
Mm-hmm. And you
Wasn't
gotta
it?
know how to use the ground
And
to do those kicks and spin kicks and whatnot, which will really help for golf swing as well, using the ground reaction force.
this hole rated 4.28, the third most difficult hole today. And a good tee shot by Jeongeun. And both days. Now this fairway is quite wide, but now the TV screen really doesn't do justice that depending on where you are on the fairway, that you really have an awkward stance. And Jeongeun will have about a 4-footer for a par. And heading Kim with a good save on the 17th hole to remain a 6 under par, moves on to the 18th hole. Oh, and that ball has gone past Jeongeun's ball.
Mm-hmm. She went after it. She bogeyed the first round on this hole, and she parred the second round.
All right, Jung a little closer than Jeongeun, has seen what Jeongeun's ball does. And almost has about the same distance, but except coming back from the other side.
Now, this club has gotten her in trouble a few times today.
And she's already laughing. Now, coming from that side, now that would be a slightly downhill stance. And will be very difficult to get that ball quickly up in the air to land the ball on the green for Soyeon Ryu. All right, the final group has teed off on the 18th hole, and we are continuing and closing out to the third round action of the 34th Kia Motors Korea Women's Open. And this is the second to last group. Chae Eun Kim on the green for birdie. And again comes up short. And this may be the first time we've actually said birdie opportunity on the 18th green.
She had only 138 meters out, where other players on average were at least 175 meters out. So that just shows you how of a length could be play a big role in this course. It's the longest golf course they have ever played for KLPGA.
Exactly, and it's well over 6,900 yards. And Jung has elected to go ahead and putt out, and finally has had a long day. I know she had a course record yesterday, tied for the course record, 7 under par yesterday, but that has not been the case for her today.
Back in 2011, U.S. Open, Women's Open, they actually played from 7,026 yards, but that was in Denver. So ball travels at least 10% longer. So actual playing yardage is not as long as what they're playing right now.
Yeah, this golf course relatively flat, built out of a landfill area, and
it's practically sea level.
Exactly, and then this is one of the more difficult golf course that the players will be faced with. All right, Jeongeun needs a par here. Oh, and nicely done. So it's been a long day for Jeongeun and Jung, the playing partners, in the second to final group, but have done nicely with the par. So the final group has moved on to the 18th hole and getting ready to hit their second shot. So looking ahead to the final round of the Kia Motors Korea Women's Open, it appears that we will have Soyeon-roo, Jeon-oh once again paired up along with Yoji Kim. And it'll be Haejin Choi and Chae Eun Park, who was red hot, and potentially Jin Young Ko. So we'll have another great opportunity to witness some great golf tomorrow. And again, that's the score of this final group. Soyeon-roo has gone 1 under par for the day, has kept her game steady.
She managed to keep it under par for the day, but it was more of a struggling survival mode on a moving day. So it would be nice to finish off with the par on this hole and get ready for the final round.
And I think she would be very happy with the par in this hole. And it looks like she's taking it very high. Oh, that
another.
might be the only second time we've seen the ball getting on the green in regulation.
It's a bit closer than the Seyoung's putt. Same line.
And that put a little smile on Soyeon-roo's face. And Jeon-oh needs to counter this. Just a slightly wind in your face. Has an
Slightly into
iron
the
in her
wind.
hand. Yes. And has elected to take it from right to left. Oh,
pin
my
high.
goodness. This is pin high. Wow.
That was a counter punch right there to Soyoung's shot.
It almost feels like I'm watching the match play situation with the Soyeon-roo and Jeon-oh. And we'll be seeing more of this tomorrow. So come back and join us as we bring you the 4th round action and the final round of the 34th Kia Motors Open. All right, Haejin Kim. Has she done it? And she has. So for the first time, we have seen all 3 players in this group hitting the green in regulation. So we got 3 birdie putts coming up. So it's literally feast or famine. And this is the reason why these players are in the final group. And Jeon-oh closest to the pin, closest to the hole amongst the 3. But I think Soyeon-roo may have the easiest putt coming up. But let's check the shot of the day. It was Jeongeun on the 11th hole. And about as close as you can get
Without holding it.
without holding it. And Jeon-oh also,
Her spin control has been phenomenal today.
that was even closer than Jeongeun. And that's one of the reasons why she is currently in 2nd place all by herself. And this is Yoji Kim on the 17th hole, and what a beautiful shot that was. All right, back on the 18th green as the final group has walked on. And what a great 3 shots we have witnessed here, Austin,
Yeah.
by these 3 girls.
For all 3 players, it hasn't been a great day for all 3 of them. They really had to, scrape pars here and there and get away with, trouble situation. But for instance, Haejin Kim, her greens in regulation was only 50% today.
But yet she has only lost 1 shot, and So-yeon Ryu also only finding less than 50% in the fairway, but yet she has still managed to go 1 under par and potentially go 2 under par. And a birdie on the 18th hole will be stealing at least a shot or two.
You know, difficult course like this, you need to do everything right, from tee shot, ball striking to putting. You have to every part of your game on point to score red numbers. But if you're playing 4 rounds, there's got to be a day where you're not gonna have so good of a ball striking day, and that was the case for all these 3 girls on the last group. But with phenomenal short game and playing smart, you know, they were able to get away with it and still managed to score under par.
All right, birdie putt coming up for So-yeon Ryu. Trying to go 13 under par. And that's exactly where Chae Eun Kim missed. So there's got to be a lot more uphill than the players are seeing. And I'm sure So-yeon, ever the good study of the game, will take that mental note and put that in her back of her mind. And trying to see if Jeongeun is further out or whether it was Hae Kim. All right, Hae Kim. Another look of the beautiful 18th green. And there's one thing that we are not seeing compared to any other tournament is that we do not see the huge gallery stand that would have been there. So unfortunate that we are not able to invite the gallery to join. We hope that this will be resolved fairly soon and we'll be able to have the gallery back and the fans with us. Hae Kim coming up for birdie. Oh,
Could not convert. Oh, it would have been nice to capitalize on a great opportunity on the tough 18th hole, but she's not going to be able to join the second to last group tomorrow.
it's been a long day for Hae Kim, and I think scrambling so much all day, but still, at least, despite losing a shot, still finishes tied for 6th place. And it just shows how difficult this golf course has been for a lot of the players. All right, Jeongeun trying to claim the overnight lead, co-lead with So-yeon Ryu. Taking a lot of time. Again, we remind the viewers that Jeongeun and So-yeon Ryu will once again be paired up in the final group.
But this putt will put a lot of pressure on Soyeon, as Jiyeon's game looks really solid and comfortable right now.
All right, this is for birdie and the co-lead.
Oh!
And it was that close. Wow, that was close. And I know that she was trying to will that ball into the bottom of the cup. Another look. Oh, and it just almost skidded by the left edge.
Yeah, that putt was huge. Going into the final round, tied for the lead. I mean, relatively speaking, Jeongeun would feel a little more comfortable because she feels very comfortable and confident in her game and how she has been playing this week. On the other hand, So-yeon Ryu, she's been playing great, obviously, but
All right, no problem with that par putt.
she needs to find some confidence back with her tee shot.
All right, after having that 5 under par in the second round, she has still managed to go 1 under par, but needs to go back and work on some games. So Jeongeun missing that, just a golden opportunity to go into a tie for the lead after the third round. All right, nicely done. So final putt has been made for the third round, the moving day of the 34th Kia Motors Korea Women's Open.
Oh, it's going to be an exciting finish tomorrow with Soyeon Ryu, Jeongeun, and Yoji Kim being paired together, going head-to-head for the national title.
All right, we continue to say that don't count out Yoji Kim, and has finally managed to join the final group. And we are just happy that you have joined us today for the third round action, and what a beautiful day it has been. Great golf action in store for you tomorrow as we continue to bring you the final action of the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open. And Soyeon Ryu all alone at top, and she'll be the open night leader, but Jeongeun right behind her, and Yoji Kim also 3 shots out of the lead. And let's check out some of the earlier today's highlights. Let's go to the second hole, par 5. And this is Jeongeun.
She was so dialed in with her wedges and spin control.
And that almost could have been a shot eagle.
And she had a couple of those kicking birdies today with the wedge in her hand.
And another par 5 on the 6th hole. And Soyeon Ryu, our overnight leader. And she had no problem with that. So after a bogey on the 4th hole, which was a very difficult hole today. And this is a hole where there was a 2-shot swing. Watch her tee shot. And rolling closer to the hole, setting up a rather easy birdie opportunity. And Hyejin Choi, we had a little bit of issues coming into the final holes, but still, a shot like this has definitely kept her within the reach of the top leaderboard.
She's currently in 4th, still in contention in the hunt for the win.
And Yoji Kim, who will be paired up with Jeongeun and Soyeon Ryu. Just like that, 3 under par in the front 9, and had that momentum continuing. Now, at this time, Chae Kim was rolling along and set us up with a beautiful birdie opportunity there. And a slight break, no problem for her. And that was only the 2nd birdie of the day for her. Jeongeun also had no issues. Another kick-in birdie for her. And the 13th hole, the second of the 3-hole Bears landmine hole, and Soyeon Ryu at this time was leading by 3 over Jeongeun with that beautiful birdie. Jeongeun, this is also a 2-shot swing. And Jeongeun rolled it in for a birdie, and Soyeon failed to convert a par putt.
That was a nice bounce back after a bogey on the 14th hole.
Absolutely, and this is the hole that we witnessed 2-shot swing. And on the 16th hole, Jeongeun showed why she is the #1 player in the world. Take a look at this shot. Stopping on a dime.
And a downwind situation with the pins tucked in the front.
And this has to be one of the most beautiful tee shot we saw on the 17th hole, par 3, hitting into the wind. And That's also the reason why she will be joining the final group tomorrow. So Yoji Kim, So-yeon-ru, and Ji-hyun-oh will all be there. And Ji-hyun-oh, wow.
The little push draw perfectly landed and the pin high.
And she was this close of claiming the lead with So-yeon-ru. All right, as we promised, we brought some great action for the third round of the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open. The final look at the leaderboard, So-yeon-ru and Ji-hyun-oh and Yoji Kim, they will be teeing off at the final group. Austin, great to have you here today and looking forward to have you tomorrow.
I'm
On behalf
excited
of all
as
of
well.
our staff, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. Come back and see us tomorrow as we bring you the final round action of the Kia Motors 34th Korea Women's Open. So long, everybody.